everyone, today we're going to be sharing with you 3 ways that you can save money on a family road trip with kids. But hey, if you're new here, my name is Ken.
I'm Andrea.
And this is Northern Viking Explorer, and we bring you videos on travel, exploring, and discovery. So make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos.
The 3 things we're going to be discussing are entertainment, accommodations, and food.
So let's get right into it.
So the first way to save is on entertainment. You want to look for the free and inexpensive stuff that you can do. Before you leave, Google and find out what's available in your area.
Yeah, one of them is free tours. We've done a lot of these over the years. One of our favorites was in California, was the Jelly Belly Factory tour. It was amazing. They take you through. We've actually done this one a couple of times with our kids. Yeah. They give everyone a free pack of Jelly Bellies. They have a little store in there, a ton of fun. They've got characters. It's a really great place to visit, and your kids will think it's an attraction, so it's awesome.
Another great one that we've done with our kids is the Tillamook Cheese Factory at the Oregon coast. That was another great, fun thing to do.
Yeah, and they got to watch people make cheese. It was really cool. Another one, we don't actually have Krispy Kreme in the area that we live in, so we saw the little blinky light, fresh donuts, or whatever it said, hot fresh donuts. And we pulled in there, and the kids got hats, they got their donuts, they got to see them made. They actually thought that they were visiting a donut factory. So that's an awesome one with your kids. Find maybe restaurants you haven't heard of before, especially if it's not in your area, and stop in there and see what kind of tours they have.
You know, another thing similar to Krispy Kreme is also whenever they have fudge available, which is there's a lot of in
chocolate shops, yeah.
You know, you stand at the window and there's turn in the chocolate and you go in and get a little bit of fudge to share as a family. It's not a big expense, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing to check out is local community events. I know in our community we have tons of them, but those are all different things to check out. If you're into art, there's art shows. Our community has a rally to raise money for children in need, and they have a couple hundred supercars that drive through. You can go walk around them. And there's Lamborghinis, Ferraris, everything like that. And if it happens to be when you're in town, it's an amazing thing to go visit, and it's totally free. So watch for local things in your community.
Hey, you never know. There could be fireworks. There could be a parade. And those tend to be things that children love to do.
Oh, for sure, for sure. The other thing you should probably check out is community parks. Okay, let's start with this one. If you're driving past an IKEA, they might have a play area for your kids that you can stop at and wear off some of that energy. That's a great one. And so look for IKEAs along your route. Just check it out on Google Maps. But community parks are a great thing. Here in our town, here in Canada, we've got outdoor ice skating that's totally free if you're coming through in the winter. You might have to rent skates at a fee, but that's fairly low cost because you're not paying to go skating at all. So yeah, that's a good one.
My parents have an amazing, completely free parkour park in their community, and they just live in a small, normal-sized town, and it has this amazing park. So you want to do your research because sometimes there's cool things just a block over you don't know about. Or the
outdoor, you'll see them here anyway. We've got like workout machines in the parks that you can go work out on. And they're just, I don't know, gravity-based type machines, but those are also things that you might want to check out. The other thing is checking out websites and promotions for different areas. So do you want to talk about the zoo when we went to the zoo?
Yeah, we actually went to the Portland Zoo when our kids were small, and we were staying in Portland for a few nights. And we went just to find out their hours. We were looking on their website, and we found out there was one specific day that I think this has been a few years ago, but I think it was $2 only if we went on the one day in comparison to the other days. So for us, it didn't matter which day, so we did a quick switch. So when you're looking at events and places that you want to visit, check their promotion section. See if they have like the first Monday of the month or some kind of promotion, because that was a lot of money saved that we hadn't planned on saving.
For sure. The other thing is check out Costco when you're traveling, because we're here in Canada, but in Idaho there's a theme park called Silverwood, and we picked up our theme pass tickets at Costco and saved quite a bit of money buying them there over going to the park. Or check out online, they might have online promotions as well. So check out Costco And you'll probably want to do that. We're going to get into food later, but check it out for food as well, because there are discounted gift cards you'll find at Costco.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, some of the grocery stores will also carry passes for some of the theme parks at a discounted rate.
Yeah, or sporting events as well. So commonly, you might be able to get tickets to a hockey game or something like that at a local pharmacy or something like that. So those are things to check out. The other thing that you do want to look at is the local parks. So local parks, state parks, provincial parks, federal parks, all of that. There's so many things to check out in those parks.
Yeah, we really enjoy the ones that have lighthouses. That's a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
We also like to do hiking. Some of the places, though, have really just cool things that you maybe wouldn't know about otherwise.
For sure. And so, for example, here in town, if you might want to check out the local pool rather than some big water slide park. Our local pool has a flow rider, it has water slides, it has lazy rivers. So you might get a way better price. And especially if your kids are little, that might be more than they can handle anyhow. So check out the local pools. You'll get in there for way cheaper than if you're paying for a big resort type of water slide park or something like that. The other thing here in our town, and I think I mentioned this already, is we have a free ice skating rink out there. So you want to look at the different things that are out there for you. It might be a free pool. I've seen that before. But it might be ice skating rinks or different things like that.
Yeah. And the final area that we want to touch on this one with is the hotel that you choose. Because when our kids were small, the pool provided hours and hours of entertainment for our kids. And I know for some families, having a gym back on the pool, some have really amazing water slides, some have bike rentals. So choosing a hotel that can keep your family occupied
for sure
is worth it.
The other thing is, this isn't even on our list, I just thought of it. If you're traveling through a town and you see a visitor center, it's well worth stopping in there because they'll be able to tell you all these things. I know I've heard of ones here in Canada that even lend you free bicycles or lend you free fishing poles if you want to go fishing at those visitor centers. So that's also a thing to check out.
The second way to save is with accommodations. We've actually done all three of these on one trip. So the first one is staying with family or friends.
Oh, you said it. Oh, staying with family and friends. This might be great for some of you, and it might be a no-go for some of you. So it's definitely something to think about.
But don't be a moocher.
Yeah, don't be a moocher.
Don't be a moocher. Like if you're showing up to stay with family and friends, bring some bedding or sleeping bags. Bring some food with you. Don't be a moocher. Yeah, no, for sure. The other thing you could do is maybe they don't have an extra room, but they have a big yard. You could pitch a tent in their yard out back if you're maybe not in the city, but if they're more of a country setting or a residential type of neighborhood, that might be a great option for you as well to sleep in their yard in a tent. So that's one great option for you. The second thing is camping. So when we did a road trip, all the way to California, we stopped at the Oregon coast. So it was really a natural transition to go from staying with family to staying in a tent at the Oregon coast, which is amazing to camp there. Yeah, and that kind of goes back to what we talked about before, visiting the different areas for free, so the attraction of the coast as well. So that's a great one. And if you're traveling with kids, I think most children love to camp. So it's actually, you're saving money and they're loving it. It's a win-win. But you're not always saving money, which leads us into number 3. So I'll talk about number 3 in this second way, which is accommodations, is booking on discounted sites for your hotel. So using places like Hotwire or Priceline. You have to be careful though, making sure you're getting a room that holds enough people. But the other thing is you could book with a place like Airbnb where you might be able to get a condo with a couple of rooms. That's a great option. But as I mentioned, we did a road trip almost 2 years back now from Canada here to Phoenix, Arizona, with full intentions of camping in Phoenix. We were just about to book our campground, and then all of a sudden a hotel came available that was cheaper than camping. It had a pool, it was in the perfect location, and it included breakfast. So it was going to be a fair bit cheaper to stay in a hotel that rather than staying way out of town camping. So if you're after the camping experience, by all means, that's a great option for you. But if you're not sure what you want to do,
Don't always assume that camping is going to be cheaper.
And don't always go for the cheapest hotel either, because we will look at the full value of the hotel. So Ken and I got to stay at a really nice hotel in Palm Springs. And I've never had this before, but the hotel included dinner.
Yeah.
So it was like hamburgers and soup and salad, included beer and wine and soda.
Yeah. Hot dogs. Tacos. There was all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had breakfast, and they had, was it snacks through the day?
Yeah.
So
the cost of the hotel basically paid for meals for those days, and the hotel was a great price in Palm Springs. It wasn't a shady hotel or anything like that. It was one of the nicest brand new hotels in that area. I'm talking a family style hotel. It wasn't the Ritz-Carlton or anything, but that's a great option to look at what amenities the hotel has.
That being said, sometimes we've looked at two hotels where one has breakfast and one doesn't. And if you're getting up early in the morning, I'm not going to pay $50 more to stay at a hotel that includes breakfast. We're going to have food in the car from the grocery store, and we're going to have a banana and a yogurt and get going. So know the value.
Yeah, for sure.
So this brings us to our third and final category, just how to save money, is on food. What we like to do before we start a road trip is we go to the grocery store and we stock up on snacks and drinks. So we get like a case of water, maybe some juice or some soda. And even if you're driving through a fast food restaurant, sometimes it saves you a lot of money to already have beverages in the car. Because some places have great prices and sometimes it's not so cheap. You can save a little extra money on that way.
Yeah. And we've been there where we didn't drink enough water on our trip and we've gotten headaches or kids are getting sick. And keeping hydrated is very important, especially when you're doing a road trip in the summer. So having lots of beverages, lots of water available right there is an awesome thing. Have a cooler with ice in it so you can keep it cold and so you're not drinking hot water. But that's a great option for sure.
And it keeps you from getting grumpy too.
Especially if there's lots of loud kids noises and screaming in the back or fighting. So that's a great thing. The other thing I want to say is research the areas online before you go. So we always do this when we book a hotel. We'll do a Google search and or actually go to Google Maps and do a search of what restaurants are around there. And we start going to all the restaurants and looking at what their promotions are. So it is very common. You're going to find kids eat free on a specific night. You might find it's free at a different restaurant on the next night. So if you're going to eat at those restaurants anyway, you might as well eat at the night where your kids are eating free. That's a great option, as well as looking at their websites for their promotions. So signing up ahead of time for their promotions. We do this typically on every road trip, and we get so many 2-for-1s for burger meals, and we might not be saving on the kids' meals, but one of us might be eating free. Or they're doing things like Soup Plantation, where we've seen where you get a whole family eats for a certain amount.
Yeah, those are some great ideas. We also will consider eating earlier. Sometimes it's the same food at dinner served at lunch for a much lower price. And often they also will have like an early bird special or a separate menu where the price is significantly reduced. So if it doesn't matter to you, you don't mind having your bigger meal at lunch, that's another way to save some money.
For sure. Another thing that I should mention is that commonly if you order at restaurants or go to restaurants that have like a family style, so if you go to a pizza sit-down restaurant, you can always, maybe your kids don't eat very much, but you don't want to order a meal. If you order one pizza, they might eat half a slice, especially if they're small, but you're not ordering them a full meal, and you might save a lot of money that way. The other thing that we've done with food is we've gone to Costco and bought pizza and put it on ice, and we get a locker at an attraction, put it in there, and so you're not buying food at some of the attractions. You can have it on ice in your car or in a locker at the attraction.
That's really great. Costco's a really good options. Like we all know they've got their hot dogs for cheap, but also I've seen people go buy the rotisserie chicken at the back of Costco and come up to the food fair and eat the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have sushi, or like they have lots of pre-made salads.
Caesar salads. Where were we? In Texas, they had like all sorts of the one we went to anyway had all sorts of ice cream cones that weren't like vanilla. They were like waffle cones with, and that was a few years back. But there's different things, and the menus are always changing there. You might find some really cool menu items at Costco. The other place that we should mention is IKEA. If you're doing a long road trip, check out where your IKEAs are. I know we talked about it before for playing for kids, but think about eating at IKEA. Sometimes they have really cheap, I don't know, $1.99 breakfast, or you can get hot dogs for $1, or 2 hot dogs and a pop for $2.50, or whatever the number is. It's really low cost. Or go get a meatball dinner there. Those are really great options for you as well. So check out where your local IKEA is, and get some Swedish flavor.
I'd also, we bring a cooler when we travel. I'll bring a small little cutting board and a little paring knife so I can chop up fruit while we're driving. We also bring some plastic bowls and spoons so you can have cereal in the car.
You just said that you use a knife in the car. Okay. We try to do it when we're pulled over.
At the rest stop.
At the rest stop. Yeah. But just, we're not carving up fruit while we're driving.
Maybe.
So we love, so you can get bagels. And if you want toppings, look for a cheese bagel. There's different options like that as well.
And so for me,
Nutella.
Nutella. I like a good deal, but one thing I've learned is that sometimes I have to compromise, and I'll go get the small package of deli meat and make a quick sandwich for everyone, because it might be a little bit more than my local grocery store, but I'm trading that convenience. It's much cheaper than sitting down and going to a restaurant. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed this video on 3 ways to save money on a family road trip with kids. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, we'd love to hear about your ideas for saving money on a family road trip. Write those in the comment section below. Again, we'd love to hear about them. Remember to connect with us on social media. You'll find those links below in the description. Thank you so much for watching today, and until next time, take care.